I was deathly and literally deathly afraid of my mother. I mean, I have enormous compassion for what she must have gone through to land her where she was, but she was not a nice person.
Abuse is very common in our family, but our family looked at it as discipline, but we didn't talk about it outside of the family.
I didn't know my little brother existed because he was locked in a room and literally tied to his crib. My little brother survived, so I'm assuming he was at least fed.
My dad always worked. My mom has depression and bipolar, and so she'd sleep all day, all month, all year.
Trying to figure out what was it that led to my birth mother leaving me. What was, now rationally as an adult, I knew. She was 13. She had been abused since the age of 5.
They said that it wasn't safe for us to live in an environment where my father would come and look for us, so they just take us to Orangewood Children's Home.
I got put in the hospital, and she refused to come pick me up once they cleared me to be released. And so cops came and picked me up. I had no clue what I was going into.
You know, I moved around from place to place and never really kept in contact with anybody. Like, I just kept moving around, and every time I moved, it was a whole set of different people. It wasn't really, like, I felt alone.
I never was allowed to go outside, so first grade was terrifying for me. I had no social skills.
I knew that school and education had to go together, and I was really excited to be in school, even though I was really bad at it for a lot of years.
It's hard to do homework or focus on social studies or learn English or math when I'm worried about what's going to happen when I get home and where my foster parents are going and what does that mean for me.
I was focused on survival even in those circumstances. Many of those circumstances were extreme, of being beaten, of being molested, to the other extreme of just being ignored.
I wanted no one to know. I wanted to be normal so much.
I didn't want anyone to know what my real parents were like so that they can then judge me that way. I mean, high school can be cruel.
It makes people feel like they don't know what to do with that information, and so you hold that, and what that does is it creates this sort of feeling like something is wrong with you, when in fact there's nothing. I'm extremely normal.
Honestly, it probably would have been more therapeutic for me to just actually find someone in common or be able to talk to someone about it.
I might not have been as open unless I had seen enough of the behavior of the adult to know that the adult was not going to harm me. It would have been a big relief. It's interesting, I think about my experience as a child, I think about my brothers too. And there's a weight to feeling lonely. Let me get some tissue.
I was just so angry, and just overwhelmed and ugly, and I just took all the pills, and I think that was just heartbreaking for Lena and Brett. They weren't like anything I had ever come across. They wanted to know me, honestly know me, you know?
I had a tough time trusting anybody and letting anybody help me, but there are opportunities for kids to take advantage of. There are adults that really want to help, and that help might be imperfect. There may be strings attached, but take it because you need it.
I remember the night Brett had came to the hospital and told me that I was going to go to the psych hospital, and he didn't know what was going to happen after that. And that was very hard to hear because I knew that I probably wasn't going to go back with them. They were amazing enough to give me a second chance.
And he told me, man, this is your school now, this is your home. You're not going to go anywhere after this school. And so you need to just do the best you can and have a good time. This is your high school. You're not going anywhere. And when he told me that, everything changed.
To me, college, that was it. I'm going to college. I don't even know what that is, but I am going there because I think it's awesome. And I think it's going to be awesome after that. And that drove me through, through a lot.
I played teacher and everything when I was really young, but that's when I realized that definitely was my goal, and I stuck to it, and I'm still doing it now in a credential program now at UC Davis.
The more you've been through, the better you can be. I think a foster kid can do so much in school, and if they could just push through and hold on, they can be so amazing.
I had a foster brother. He was scared. He was terrified of it for people to know. And I talked to him about it, and you know, he saw what was happening for me, and by the end of the year he told me, "Carrie, dude, I don't care. You can tell everybody I'm in foster care. It's awesome."
Like, I feel like I've had way more life experience, and I've learned so much more that their eyes haven't even been open to yet. And not to be cocky or, you know, overconfident, but I'm proud.
The power of a few, the power of one to make a difference is extraordinary. So that little child grew up to be this woman intent on ensuring that everyone feels special.
Go back in time to my 16-year-old self and sit me down for 5 minutes and say, here's the deal, here's what happens. It gets amazing.